Everybody, welcome back to OverVoice Season 3. A bit of a mix-up from the first episode, bit of a budget increase. It's been a while, but I'm happy to be back, and today we are joined by the lovely Ariana Rosario. So, Ariana, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, hello, hi. I am Ariana Rosario. I am a semi-professional slash professional, whatever you want to call it, voice actor. I've been in games such as Genshin Impact as some NPCs around Fontaine and Sumeru, and most notably Lady Pearl and Vanilla in Path to Nowhere, alongside some indie stuff here and there. But yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Nah,
Excited
thank you so much for
to
coming on. And also,
chat.
semi-professional, gets in Genshin, CSD. Come on, man. Don't fool yourself. Come on.
It's one of those things where it's like I have been conditioned to humble myself to hell and back. So it's like I could be working with like Laura Bailey and be like, no. Like it's Laura Bailey. Like who the fuck am I?
No, I get that. I get that. I'm either really good at being humble or really bad at it. So
Yeah.
it's like it's hard. I'm trying to find the balance.
Mhm.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming on. And just want to get this obvious question out of the way. It's a question I ask everybody, unless you're not a voice actor. But how what's your story into voice acting? How did you get into it?
God, I feel like because I was thinking about this earlier because I was like, oh, I know he's gonna ask that. I feel like my story changes a little bit every time I say it. There's like so many different like small little bits of phases like throughout my life starting at like 2016 that are like, oh, like this kind of introduced me to the idea, but I didn't jump into VO until like 2018ish. I was really big into Danganronpa, like super big. Like I started with V3, which was terrible for the record, because like starting with the third game in the series. But I just remember having very fond memories of just like falling in love with like the characters and how like the voice actors would bring them to life in like these silly ways. Like Kokichi is always like a call out because of just like his signature little laugh, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool. And I think just through the process of like being on the internet and like YouTube and stuff, I ended up discovering that there are people that make like fan Danganronpa like stories where, you know, they make their OCs and then there are people on the internet that voice act for them. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. And around the same time that I was like kind of delving into this like mini subsection of the internet, Danganronpa Kill Cure was like probably like the biggest one going on at the time, and I was like, oh my god, wait, their auditions are open. Like, what if I tried out? And I didn't get cast obviously because I kind of just like winged it. I bought like a really cheap like $11 mic. It's one of those like interview mics that you'll see on like TikTok nowadays, like those little things that you hold in your hand.
I mean, as long as it's
Um,
not a Blue Yeti, I think you're fine.
oh, I did have a blue Yeti phase. I had a blue
Oh,
snowball
me
and a
too.
blue
Me too.
Yeti
It
phase.
was like 2 months. I was like, people told me it was shit. I was like, fuck. Right.
No, oh my god, my blue snowball phase was like me grabbing it like by
Oh,
the
no.
handlebars, me hunched over into my closet with like three blankets, sweating my like body out.
Oh, you
Just
started with the closet? I started under my bed.
oh my god, wait, but that honestly, I feel like that would work better now that I think about it. Like
It's not
if you,
comfortable. It's not comfortable.
it's not comfortable, but I
I
feel
like
like it would
space.
work.
I really like space. It took me so long to get my closet was just cluttered. So like it took me a
Oh.
while to move from the bed to the closet.
But at least that was definitely a big upgrade then.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I was a firm closet user. I'm still in my closet actually.
Nice.
I've repurposed my closet into because I have two closets in my room, just from how the design is. So, one of them is for my clothes. The other one, my mom is like a chronic hoarder, so she just like throws a bunch of shit in there, like clothes and purses and stuff. And she's like, I'm gonna wear this summer. She never does. So, like one
Oh,
day,
she's the
I'm
opposite
just
of
like,
my mom. She just wants me to take shit out of the closet.
oh my god, I fucking wish. I told my mom one day, I was like, yeah, no, I'm taking everything out and I'm building a booth. And she was like, but I need this. And I'm like, nope, no, you don't. No, you don't. So, my stepdad and I kind of makeshifted a booth. It's double layered with like moving blankets and just a bunch of like acoustic foam and like bass traps and stuff. But, I like, when I saw that you got your studio bricks, I was like, oh my fucking god, I'm so jealous. Because like I really want one, but I'm moving soon. Like I have plans to move by the end of next year, so I'm like,
Oh, nice.
I
Where you moving to?
hopefully LA.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I'm trying to to bite the bullet and be the starving artist.
Not fair enough. Honestly, um, yeah, Studio Bricks was for me. It was more like an investment because I won't go too into detail, but it was like,
Mhm.
oh god, life's too short. Fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, just fuck it. No, that's the best way to live. I I want to live that way, but I have too much anxiety to live that way.
Honestly,
So
that's
like
so fair. But you're
I
moving to
just
LA, so like I think you're lying.
yeah,
Just
no.
filled with anxiety.
I just graduated college, so I'm like I'm going to
Oh,
take the
same.
rest of this year and like beginning of next year to like just hoard a bunch of money. Like at
Mm,
least like a couple months rent before I go out there. So like,
that's
like I'm
clever.
not just
Yeah,
dropping everything and moving because like that like I feel like because in this industry there's like so many risks that you're able to take. But I'm a firm believer of like taking risks but in like a smart way.
yeah,
So like, me mentally giving myself a timeline of like a year and a half. And like this is all subject to change obviously. I don't have
yeah.
like a hard fast rule on it. But it's like if I say, "Okay, I have until August of 2025 to save up money and like, book my flight or like, get the car ready to drive out, what have you, if I set it clear I'm going to work towards that and I know at the very least like whatever I have by that point, if it's enough or if it's like something that I can say like okay, I have a couple thousand. Realistically, I probably would have wanted to save more, but at least I have like 2 months rent, maybe 3 months rent. This should be enough to start. Let me take the leap as opposed to like some people that'll just be like I want to be a full-time VA and I'm going to move to LA with like 20 bucks in my pocket and it's like girl,
I
that's not
mean,
really realistic.
sometimes it works. Sometimes not. It's not
Sometimes, yeah,
recommended, but it's
exactly.
sometimes it works.
Yeah, it's like for me, I always try to like strategize things, especially when it comes to my career because I'm very passionate about it.
Yeah.
So it's like my biggest fear is ending up homeless. So
Honest, that's a
like
pretty valid fear to be honest. I don't think
so
anyone
it's
would blame you. Like, oh, look at this pussy being scared of being
so I'm
homeless.
like I don't really want to, I don't really want to test those waters. We went way off track, but
No, it's okay. This is what
Danganronpa.
this is what it's about. There's no structure here. This is we're just
Sweet,
this.
awesome. But I'm kind of just Danganronpa got my start. I did fan work for a good like 2 years straight. Like I was like super big into comic dubs. Like
Yeah.
Fire Emblem Three Houses was coming out. Like there were so many games that I was just like, yeah, no. Like Genshin was like really popping off at the time. Just like everything was just compiling comic dubs onto comic dubs. I met people and like at least the big thing for me was always like I started with casting call club, so it's like
Yeah.
the big thing that I do love about CCC even now is that like the ability to listen to other people's like auditions.
Ooh.
Because for me, I would always listen to the person who was cast, and I would usually just be like, okay, like what did they do? So it was always like an analysis of like the vocal print. Does the vocal print like fit the character? Like if I look at this character, can I imagine this voice coming out of them? And then like going downwards is like, all right, how did they structure their reads? Like where's the rhythm? Where's the tempo? Where's the the peaks and valleys? Like essentially just trying to find those little nuances in those reads. So I was very much self taught for like the first 2 years. I have no prior acting training whatsoever. I did like maybe a semester of theater in high school, and my teacher did not ever call on me to perform, so I don't know if it
Aw.
counts.
Come on.
um, I've kind of just been like winging it for lack of a better term. My first 2 years were kind of just like, fuck it, we ball. And then and then the pandemic hit, and I just graduated high school, and I was kind of just like I was starting college, and the big question was like whether or not I would dorm. Um, because the school I went to was like 45 minutes away. It wasn't that far, but like, everybody talks about the college experience and like, dorming and like it changes your life. You meet your friends for life, yada yada yada. But we were also in a pandemic, and then everything was online. So I'm like in my head mentally, it didn't make sense for me to spend an extra 5-6K to dorm
Yeah.
doing the exact same thing I would be doing at home for free. So I decided not to dorm, and that really opened up my time for VO. Sorry, I ramble a lot, so I
Nah,
can
it's okay. Do not apologize. This whole thing is rambling, to be honest.
yeah, so I had a lot more time to like invest in VO, and it was kind of around that point where I was like, damn, like I really like this. Like I started transitioning more into like original work and, you know, the concept of creating characters rather than emulating characters. And that was like very much a fascinating shift to see, like retrospectively, just kind of my mentality and switching between like, oh, like Lumine from Genshin sounds super pretty, I want to sound like her, to what is it about Lumine Genshin Impact? What is it about Sarah Miller Cruz, her voice, that, you know, makes Lumine's character? And, you know, what can I do to create my own characters? So, like, that was very much a big shift for me in trying to reestablish and, like, redirect my, how I viewed VO. And then I realized, hey, like, I kind of like this. Like, maybe I can try this out, like, a little bit more professionally. And, you know, time is a concept because
Yeah, for
it's
real.
it's 2024, and it's like it feels like I'm approaching my 6th year in voiceover in
Ooh, nice.
July.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It does not feel like that long.
Hey, it's
It
been
doesn't at all.
this is my 7th year. It doesn't feel like 7 years either.
It just, I don't know, man. And it's like it's really interesting for me because I was also thinking about this earlier, but like my second semester of my junior year of college, I was kind of, and this was all like 2023 as a whole, like I was going through like a really big struggle in terms of like, because I really, really wanted to devote more time into VO. Like I wanted to go all in, you know, I'm like thinking about my future and stuff. And like at the time, school seemed like it was holding me back. And like FOMO is real. I don't care who anybody says, is real.
Mm.
Especially in this industry, it is so easy to fall into imposter syndrome. So like a lot of 2023, like at least in terms of my career, was hard for me because, you know, I wasn't really getting many opportunities. Like I felt kind of stuck in this rut where it's like I could take classes and stuff and like, you know, improve on my craft, but like the coaches were kind of just like, yeah, no, you're doing good. Like, how are you, like, you know, I don't know how you're not like further. And I'm like, I don't know either, man. I really had to like take a step back to really like evaluate myself because I was getting really pissed off at like the concept of school, and I was putting a lot of blame on school as a whole, as like, you're the reason why I'm like being held back, when that really wasn't the case. But I really needed to have kind of like I needed to take a step back to really like, you know, analyze everything that I've got going on. And I took this one class in November of last year that, frankly, I will change my life in a way. Not like in small ways. Like it wasn't like a, oh my god, like the clouds, like my frontal cortex has grown in. Like it was just little subtle changes. Jazzy Frizzle's marketing class.
Ah, yes, yes.
Such a good fucking class.
Oh my God, yes.
I will gas up that class to the end of time, because when I say it, like, it awoke like a different side of me that I didn't really like tap into. And it was seeing VO as like a business, and me being like, you know, the head, I'm the CEO of my business. And the CEO, you know, they're responsible for, you know, reaching out to companies. They're responsible to marketing themselves and making themselves known to people in order to work with them. And, you know, that's how you build connections. It's how your business grows. And I really didn't understand that concept until I took that class. And I got really comfortable with cold emailing. I've been slacking on it recently, but like just cold emailing as a whole like really opened up a lot of opportunities for
Yeah.
me, because I was able to, you know, kind of step out of this imaginary bubble where I believed that like nobody knew I existed. And then I was like, okay, nobody knows I exist. I'm going to make them know that I exist. I will make them
You,
know that I exist.
you tell him.
And like in a way that isn't even like overbearing, because I know a lot of people get like scared about like emailing and stuff and just like, oh, I don't want to bother them. But it's like there's ways to go about it. And frankly, it's like anybody that is willing to say like, oh, you sent me an email with your demo reel, blacklisted. Probably not somebody that you would want to work with to begin with.
Yeah.
Because most people in this industry are really nice. Like, if you just sit them down and talk to them like people, like, they're willing to hear you out. So, I did a lot of cold emailing, and just like talking to friends and other people in the industry and just getting their perspective on things. Like, that's how I got my agent. I was able to reach out to someone, and basically ask them their perspective on, how they went about agent hunting and like what they did. And she was super nice enough to give me a referral that I did not ask for. And that's how I got in with my agents at CESD now. And I'm super grateful to her. And it's like, you know just again, it opened up another side of my brain, and it's kind of like redirected how I choose to tackle my career as a whole, and for the better. And it's, in many ways I see 2024 as the year I've popped off. In some ways, where I get signed, I've booked Path to Nowhere, Genshin. Like, I've gotten to do so many things that I literally was dreaming of doing last year. So it's like, it's all like a timing thing. Unfortunate as it may sound, I don't think back then I would have been like as ready or like prepared for it as I am now to really like tackle and like address all that I've got going on. So I think I'm a firm believer of like the universe is working in your favor, and like believing that the universe has things in store for you, and that no isn't no, and then also just that what is meant for you is meant for you. Like, no matter what. Like, no matter what is meant for you is meant for you. So you just have to give it time to come to you. But that doesn't mean you should stop working hard. It just means, not to be discouraged. I don't know. I have a lot of weird like philosophies on like life and stuff, but yeah. I forgot what the original question was.
No, this is actually part of the original question. It's like your voice acting journey, and like I really do appreciate philosophy. It's kind of similar to mine in a way. Um, in the sense that like you can't really anticipate anything really, so you
Yeah.
kind of have to like go out and try it, and because like
Mhm.
you'll regret it severely if you don't
Yeah.
do it when you're younger, or stuff like that. But like if you do it older, it's not a regret either. But like having that more time to do it, that's something that you can't get back. So
Yeah.
being able to do it young, and like both of us, we're very fortunate to have started out pretty young in our lives, because I
Yeah.
because you said this is your 6th year, right? So you must have started when
Yeah.
you were 17.
Yeah, but in that ballpark.
Yeah, I started when I was 16, so I was like in the middle of high school. Also just out of curiosity, because you said you were in college in 2020. That means you graduated in 2019. Is that right?
No, I graduated May of 2020, or no, June of 2020, and then I started college September of 2020.
Oh, it's right. You Americans do it so weird.
Yeah.
We finished at the end of the year, like December.
Oh,
So
oh. That makes more sense
yeah,
though. Honestly, I'd rather have it that way because it just, I don't know, but yeah, no, America's weird.
yeah. So I like that whole year in 2020 was online school, but I actually didn't hate it, surprisingly, because I was really introverted at the time. So I was like, "Oh, this
Mhm.
is great! This is awesome! Like people are dying, but this is great!" um, I pretty much I was like the most productive because I would like do all my classes. I would finish literally all my work. My work was done, so I just had to go to
Mhm.
classes just to show up for attendance, right?
Yeah.
So what I'd do is I'd have my oh, this is horrible. If my teachers are watching, I'm so sorry for this. But I would have like the laptop on because we had to keep our cameras on, so that was like a
Mhm.
requirement. So I'd have the
Mhm.
camera on, and I would angle it so like you could see my face, but like I had my Nintendo Switch
Yeah.
just underneath it because I can mute. I was able to mute myself, which is great. I was allowed that
Yeah.
at least. So I was just playing Smash Bros. While they were just like, yeah, yeah, gotcha. I'm writing right now. This is great.
Oh my
Um,
god.
but but yeah, my next question for you is, uh, I know that you are a Xenoblade fanatic, so
Oh.
I gotta ask, like, what's your journey with Xenoblade? Because I started with Xenoblade in the weirdest way possible. Because I started Xenoblade because I know Shulk was added to Smash Bros. In 2014. I was like, oh, this guy's actually kind of cool. And
Yeah.
then I started playing the definitive version on, not the definitive version, the version on the
The three.
3DS.
Yeah.
And then I played Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and then I
Mhm.
played the the remake of the
Definitive
first
edition.
one, and
Yeah.
then I played X. I played a little bit of three so far, but I haven't finished it yet.
Okay.
But
Oh
yeah,
God. Xenoblade is. I joke saying that it's my personality trait, but like I genuinely don't have something that is like if voice acting isn't my personality trait, Xenoblade's my personality trait because like they both kind of coincide in things that have like been the most consistent in my life. Like as oh my god, Xenoblade Chronicles, man, 2014. I'm 12 years old, watching like Let's Players on YouTube, and come across this like silly little journey that's like 100 something episodes long, of a Let's Play of this silly little game called Xenoblade Chronicles, and I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm like 12 years old. I don't have a life. Like, let's fucking do it. And 100 something episodes later, I absolutely find myself like just enamored by the world, by the characters, by the music. So much so, like I'm not embarrassed by any means, but it's
don't
always
be.
funny to say
You're.
it.
This is far from embarrassing for me personally.
I have like I've spent so much time with Xenoblade 1, like between multiple times rewatching that Let's Play, getting the 3DS version, playing the 3DS version like 3 times,
You played
playing
it three times. How the hell did you do that?
I've played 1 like at least like probably 10 times at this point.
What? That's
Um
insane. That's awesome.
No, I love 1. Like I've spent so much time with 1. It's like it's one of those games that like especially the older that I get. And this is just across the series as a whole, but like 1 specifically, I have a lot of nostalgia with it.
Yeah.
Um I think my favorite thing about the series as a whole is that like the older I get, coming back to the games, it's like I'm always learning something new, or I'm always seeing something from a different lens, just through the process of growth as a human. And I think like specifically 1's message of just like fighting for a future that you can carve for yourself, like is really god, it resonates so much with me, because like my teenage years were like really weird, but like I've always kind of struggled with this idea of like what I was going to do with my life, and I kind of always had a very like I studied criminology in college, just for a little bit of added context, because I've always loved like law and like psychology and like criminality and stuff. Like I do enjoy those aspects of like life, and studying them and stuff is super cool to me, but like it was never really something that I like found myself like super like obsessed with. And I'm a big person that I like if I hyperfixate on something, I hyperfixate. I go
Yeah.
in. So it's like for me, like I don't I'm a big person. I'm big on like putting my all into things. So like knowing that I liked it, I enjoyed it, but I know I could never put my all into like studying law and stuff. Like I would always tell like the adults in my life, like, "Oh, what are you gonna do after school? Like, what are you gonna do when you grow up?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'll be a lawyer. You know, like, oh, I'll be a lawyer. I'll be a lawyer. I'll be a lawyer." I don't fucking want to be a lawyer, man. But like at the time, it was really I just did not know what I wanted to do with my life, and that was just the safest thing to tell people. And when I kind of fell into VO, it was very much this like, oh, like I like this a lot. Like this could be my thing. And to tie it back to Xenoblade, the whole idea of like the future is yours to create, and like being willing to fight for a future of your own carving, like it resonates really deeply for me because I'm the only person in my family who is pursuing a job in the creative field. I'm the only person really taking risks. I'm first generation for reference. My mom immigrated to the States when she was 13.
Hey, same.
Um,
Not the States, but New Zealand. But yeah.
yeah, so it's like, I'm, there's a lot of like added unconscious like pressure, quote unquote, to like, like do right by your parents because they came over here so like you could have a better life and such and such. And it's like,
Mm,
well, yeah, but I'm living my own life and I want to create a life that I want to live and be happy in. And finding VO kind of reaffirmed a lot of the thoughts that I resonated so deeply with Xenoblade, in terms of kind of giving me the motivation to fight for this life that I wanted to create for myself. And I've sacrificed a lot. I've really put a lot into this because I want it to work so much, because
yeah.
I love it so much, and I want to bring my dreams to life. And also, it'd be really cool if I got to voice in a Xenoblade game. I'm just saying. Um,
Honestly, I know Xenoblade Chronicles 1 was a good game, but like I can't state how much Smash brought so much attention, so many eyes on Xenoblade.
yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah, no, but it was good. It was good. I think like Smash with Shulk and like especially like Pyramithra like bringing so much attention, so much to the point where like Xenoblade 3 was like the last thing in that Nintendo Direct, the final thing in a Nintendo Direct. You know, all the eyes were on it.
Oh yeah.
Like it was, it's just been insane how much the series has grown over the years. For better or for worse, but I think it's always nice to kind of like see people interact with like something you kind of hold so dearly to you. I'm like the resident like Xenoblade nerd amongst my friend group, so it's like I'm always trying to get people to try the series out. So it's like
Oh, you're like a
it's
JoJo
really fulfilling.
fan. I say
It's
this as a
really
JoJo fan.
no, it's like you feel fulfilled. Like you feel like you did something right when
Yeah.
like, you know, you nudge someone like you've been nudging them for so long like, "Hey, try this thing." And they're like, "Ah, fine, I'll fucking do it." And then you're like, "Yes! I did it." And then it's like they get to experience it and then they get to understand why you're like so obsessed with it or why you know, you find so much joy in it and it's just the good vibes. I love Xenoblade. God, I love Xenoblade.
I think the first game is probably my favorite as well. It might just be because of nostalgia, but I just really like the writing in that game specifically. Like,
Mhm.
oh my god. And I could talk about it all day. Honestly, I genuinely could, but we're actually running out of time. So probably we'll have to do like the 10-minute interval and then
Yep.
we'll come back. But like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but yeah, what was I gonna say? So you do because you graduated as well this year. I
Yes.
graduated in April, with for my degree.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And congratulations to you as well.
Thank you.
And I was gonna ask, um, for criminology, like, I'm sorry, it's just it's just a huge like difference between voiceover
Yeah.
and criminology. But like, I'm just very curious. Now that you have a degree in criminology, um, like, and this is like a complete assumption, by the way. You may not even do this, but like if you like listen to like true crime podcasts and stuff, right? Like,
Mhm.
if you do, how is that like perspective from a like that you studied for this for years? Like, how's that like kind of go into like watching the true crime podcast? Was is it like, okay, I can understand why this person would do this because this person is this.
Yeah, so criminology as a whole is there's many layers of it, but it's essentially the way that I like to describe it is like criminal justice and psychology had a baby. So you're always looking at like criminal activity through the psychological lens, and there's so many criminological theories as to why people commit crime. And it's basically using those theories and taking every criminal case by case and viewing it in the sense of like, okay, this person robbed a bank and killed someone, or no, not robbed a bank. This person robbed John and killed John. Let's analyze why he robbed and killed John. What does robbing someone mean? Well, robbing someone means that you're physically stealing, you're taking their possessions. What does killing mean? You know, obviously you hold a lot of emotions towards that person, and then you have to analyze like how did they kill him. Strangulation is always a big one because strangulation as a whole is a very personal type of killing. You know, because you physically have to, you know, hold them and you know make sure that they stop breathing, compared
Like,
to
but like
like
the
shooting
fingerprints,
someone.
the fingerprints will be everywhere. That's like, come on, man. There's better
Yeah,
ways to
like
do it.
there's so many like different facets of it, and then um once you analyze like those little things, then you come back to the person and then we're like, all right, why what happened with X? What happened in X's history that like led him to killing John, right? And then you look back in X's history and X, you know, maybe X was an orphan, right? Not saying that all orphans lead to crime, but X was maybe an orphan, and like John was their foster father at one point in time, and John was super abusive towards X. So X, as he grew up and you know he went back into the system, he always had a hatred for John. And now X is an adult, and X has you know free will, and you know he's been holding on to this urge for revenge for years now. And then, let's just say, like John's wife X's foster mother was always super sweet to him, and John's wife died, and that's the trigger. You know, this one person that was super nice to him compared to like the person that was super like abusive towards him. You know, that's the trigger, and now all of a sudden X wants to kill John. Um, and I think it's not to bring everything back to VO, but like there's nuance in every situation, and like deep analysis of a situation essentially can help in many ways. Like I always used to say like, yeah, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a lawyer, but like genuinely, if I didn't fall into VO, I would have loved to be a defense attorney, or at least like, you know, using psychology to defend clients, because like there's nuance to every single criminal case, but it's like if you have the ability to sit there and be like, yes, what X did was wrong. Like legally, he killed someone, he should be held accountable for that. But you also have to consider that, like, you know, X had a rough childhood. X, you know, went through a lot of stuff, and psychologically he may not have been, not in a right mind, but like psychologically he may not have had the coping mechanisms, or like society didn't help him enough to prevent this crime. And like there again, there's so much in the realm of like criminal justice, criminology, that I'm like mildly obsessed with. It's like super interesting to me. I just love analyzing people.
And also just bringing back to VO for a second, like it also I would imagine like having that psychology background would also be really good in like analyzing characters, because characters
Yeah,
also have like those nuances, right? They have their
exactly.
reasons for doing things or not doing things or saying
Exactly.
things. And it's like you're so lucky. That's such a good skill to have. I have to fucking I have to really think I have to sit on it for like a few hours. So like, I think I would like not to downplay you, because I'm probably think you do the same. So like, but it's like you're more experienced at this than I am. I'm still working on it. I
Yeah,
have like my
no.
own style, like because I went to acting school, so I
Mhm.
learned a lot of techniques like understand characters and
Mhm.
like their philosophy. So I kind of just bring that, and that
Mhm.
really helps. It really helps a lot, especially like on the fly, like improv when I do
Mhm.
classes, and it's like, oh
Yeah.
fuck, okay, this person it does this because of this. Like, oh, that makes sense. This is great.
Mhm.
Another question I had for you is, so a lot of people may or may not know this, but both me and Ari were actually in an indie show together, Pride's Misfits,
Yeah.
a while
Oh.
back. I think I was brought on a bit later because Lou was looking for like someone to play
Mhm.
VRL, but I think you were I think you were like one of the first people to
Yeah.
join actually. And Ari plays my daughter, Cloud. So this is great.
It was really
Yeah.
funny cuz like I remember when Lou was first doing the castings for Cloud and like another character that I can't remember off the top of my head. But like I remember distinctively cuz like Cloud went through a lot of changes like before like the pilot actually became a thing. She was British at one point. Like she had the accent and everything, and I had to pull out the Xenoblade in me. But it was really funny when like I auditioned with the accent, got cast with the accent, and then like just through the process of life, like indie stuff happens like this all the time. I don't hear anything from Lou about the thing at all. And then just some random Wednesday, they're like, "Hey, like would you be willing to record these lines for the trailer?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." And I did it with the accent. And they were like, "Oh no 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 no, she's not British anymore." And I was like, "Oh fuck." Fucking, I love Cloud. Lou did such a good job on the pilot. Like, it looks incredible, especially given that like that was all them. That's
Oh my god.
all them. Like, oh my god, it's insane.
Their work ethic is astonishing. Did you get your cloud keychain? I've got my
I
VRL
did.
got my VRL keychain right here.
Oh, I need to put it in my booth. I have it in my bookshelf. She's just kind of like chilling there. I gotta put it in my booth now that I think about
Hell
it.
yeah. Did you end up? I mean, you probably saw the pilot, right? What'd you think?
Yeah. Oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. Oh
I
my
wanted
god.
more. I wanted
I
more
did
so
want
bad.
more. Like, just there was so much like built into it that it was just like I know it's a pilot, it's supposed to do that. Like the way that it's structured, you're supposed to want more from it. But like fuck, like there was so much build up into everything, and then it's like you get to see like little ways that like each character changes throughout it. And it's only like what, 13, 14 minutes?
Yeah, it's like
Like
12 minutes. Yeah.
yeah, like like you get so much development and like so much like inklings of like potential for like change and like growth for these characters throughout, like, if it had a proper season run, like, it's so, oh my god, it's so good.
I've
So happy to be a part of
because I
it.
also help a lot with some casting here and there, so I've been
Mhm.
able to see like how what Lou has planned for Pride's Misfits depending how things go, and
Mhm.
I gotta say it's pretty exciting. So I'm
Oh,
hoping, fingers crossed,
fingers
things.
crossed. No,
Yeah,
100%. Oh my god.
yeah, but oh my god, that was our first project we actually worked on, and I think that's kind of inspired me to just reach out. I was like, oh, okay, we're in this thing together. We should
Yeah.
probably speak more, you
Yeah.
know?
No, I'm so bad at like talking to people. Like when I say like there's so many people that I'm like, "Oh my god, like I need to talk more." I'm just like terrible about reaching out. Like sometimes I'll just like I have the phantom response where it's like, "Yeah, no, I've responded to them." And then like 2 weeks goes by and I'm like, "Hey, like I haven't heard from them in a while. Like let me go check it out." And I'm like, "Oh, I was the one that didn't respond." It's very awkward if like 2 weeks later I'm like, "Yeah, I like pizza too." Like so it's like awkward for me to like how do I weasel my way back in without like coming across as like I'm an asshole because I left you on red for 2 weeks by accident.
You had 2 weeks to think of a response, and you responded with that. Come on, man.
I'm trying to get better at it. My communication skills as a whole, like I'm very much working on like just trying to be more active and like talking to people and like honestly, like people like you who are willing to make the
Oh,
first
thank
message
you.
makes my life so much easier.
Oh, thank you. I've,
So it's
I've,
like I don't have to stress too much about like, oh my god, like what if they like hate me? Like
no, come, no, Ari, no, come on, come on, man, no, absolutely not, no, 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 no. I get it. I used to be really introverted, and I'm still kind of am. There's still like
Mhm.
little parts of me that are like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
Yeah, fuck oh shit.
But like, I think when it comes to people, I just don't. I'm not really scared anymore, which is great. I wish I
Mhm.
had that in high school. Would have been so much less awkward. But like, we glow up afterwards. We didn't peak in high
Yeah.
school, so this is great. It's great for me actually. But yeah, I wanted to ask as well. Because you started with doing fan guns.
Mhm.
I used to know someone who also did fan guns as well. So so like they're very popular. Like I haven't
Mhm.
really played Danganronpa, but like I know of Monokuma. That's all I know of him. I
You
know
know
of
that
him.
there's teenagers killing each other. That's all you
Yeah,
really need to know.
it's like Among Us, but like anime. but but I was gonna ask, in terms of like projects that you've been able to be a part of, like, because you mentioned you played Genshin before, so like being like NPCs in Genshin and stuff like that, what was that? What was it like for you, like in the session itself when recording that?
Oh my god, man. It was insane, really. Like I've been playing Genshin since like launch day, right? And I'm like on and off with it, but like I'm caught up with the story, like I'm caught up with all the story quests and stuff. So it's like I've been with the game for a while, and it's like it's super surreal. At least like when I booked Genshin and I like went into record. It was a 5 minute session, hilariously enough.
5 minutes?
Like
Wow.
it was 5 minutes, because I had three NPC characters, and it was like 2 lines each. So like we ran through them pretty quickly, and like I know the thing that like really got me excited was one of my characters mentions like Liyue Harbor, and like I don't know, there was just something so fascinating to me about Chris Faye, the director, like basically like twitching my pronunciation of Liyue, because like sometimes it comes out as Liu Wei with like a w sound. It's actually supposed to be like Liu E, like with an e
Ah,
sound. Like
interesting.
there's like a very very slight hitch. Um, but like it was just really fascinating to me to like have that experience of just like, yeah, no, because they were so amazed that like, oh wow, like that was actually a pretty close pronunciation of Liu. Like like kind of in the vein of like either you've played the game before or like you're knowledgeable in like Chinese pronunciation, and I'm like, no, I'm playing the game before. But it was so, and hearing my voice in the game, like I kind of cried a little bit. It was
Understandably so. Honestly, I would probably have the same
it was,
reaction.
oh my god, it was so surreal. Like, and not even just with Genshin. I think I have that kind of like awestruck moment anytime I hear my voice in like anything. Um, like it's so surreal that like it's it's real. Like I could boot up Genshin right now. I could go to Beta Harbor and I can find two of my NPCs just like chilling there, and it's just like, damn, like I did that. Like like what the
Oh yeah, you
fuck?
did. Oh yeah, you did.
Oh my god. And it's just like I have nothing but gratitude for like everything that I get to do, everything I get to audition for, just everything that I get to like, put a little bit of me in. Like I'm nothing but grateful, and it's just like it motivates me too because it's just like I love this feeling of being able to sit back and say like fuck, that's me.
Hell
And
yeah.
I want to keep experiencing that feeling. So like I want to keep working hard so I can experience that feeling more.
Absolutely. I haven't played a lot of Genshin. I played a tiny, very tiny bit. And by tiny I mean
Mhm.
like really minuscule. Like
Mhm.
like I I haven't even explored the first world yet. I am very, very much new. Like
It's really big now. I can't blame you.
yeah, like starting Genshin's like starting One Piece. It is
Yeah.
intimidating. I wanted to
Yeah.
start it because I wanted to get to Ray Chase's character so I could hear him say "Order trees beginning at least kind of now." But that's way far away. So I have a my motivation to play Genshin is to voicing it. It's a bit selfish,
Mhm.
but yeah,
No,
like that's
honestly,
my incentive, I guess. But I need to try. I guess I need to keep going.
yeah, no. It's honestly like I think I think following that kind of like train of thought of like it's selfish of me to want to voice in Genshin, so I want to play it so I can, like so I can get the feel for it, whatever, whatever. Like I think like I think the thing that people aren't really like willing to at least indulge in too much, especially like on social media, is like there's a lot of like selfishness in like inherently in this industry that we don't really talk about too often because like we don't want to come across as like oh like so conceited and like I want to be in this thing because me when
Oh
it's
damn!
like
So you are calling me selfish? What the fuck, Ari?
no no
What the fuck?
but it's like I feel like it's unfair for people to go into this thinking that like that selfishness is like a bad thing. I think too much of anything is a bad thing.
Yeah,
Like that is just a truth for everything. But I think having a bit of selfishness um is motivating. Like you said, like you want to play Genshin so that you can eventually be in it. I play Xenoblade because I want to be in it. Like, there's so many like games and shows that I watch that it's like, yeah, I want to be in that because that would be fucking cool to say that. And I don't think it's wrong to think that or feel that way. I think it's when people take it too far where it's like they they kind of let it like take control of them a little bit,
yeah,
where it's like the wanting something is perfectly fine. We all want things. It is in our human desire to want things. But you also have to be conscious about like how you're doing. Like if you're like God, I'm very terrible about analogies, but I love making them up. If you're like 15 years old in high school and you play baseball for your high school baseball team, I want to be in the MLB. All right, you want to do that. A 15-year-old is not just gonna step out into the fucking MLB court and
yeah.
say I want to play with the big leagues. No, like they're gonna laugh in your face. I think it's reasonable to say I want that, so I'm going to work for it. And I think where a lot of people kind of miss the mark is like, I want this. I'm going to skip all the steps ahead in order to do that. And then you have like situations where like people are reaching out to casting directors or like, people are, banging down like voice actors DMs, which is really stupid because voice actors really can't do much for you. Saying, "Hey, like let me be in this thing," or like refer me to someone who can be like put me in this thing, and it's like, hey, bro, it doesn't work like that. Like,
The audacity! Wow, I've never dealt with that before. Well, actually, no, I
it's
have, but that was like when that was a while ago. I was starting out, and people like asking me about that. But like, dude, I just started. What the fuck can I do?
exactly. So it's like I think just as like an addendum essentially, like following your train of thought there. Selfishness is good in anything. It's a motivator, but it's like it's always good to kind of keep a lid on it so it
Yeah,
doesn't fester into a
I feel like
monster.
there's a fine line to it.
Yeah,
Um, because
100%.
like you can be selfish in the sense of backing yourself, and it's like selfish where you're like purposely doing things for yourself.
Yeah.
You're sabotaging other people. You're gatekeeping them.
Mhm.
That's
Exactly.
the bad kind of selfish.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard. This industry, it is hard. Like I get it. I had a moment like this year. that lasted a little bit of time when I finished uni. When I moved back home, I
Mm.
got really bitter and angry, and it was like, oh shit, like damn, I live in fucking New Zealand. We're in the bottom of the planet. What the fuck can I do? It's like, god damn it.
Mm.
It's like I want to do things, but like I've been really lucky and honored that people have given me a chance. So like honestly, like I've been really lucky in general, but like genuinely just get good. Like if you get good,
Yeah.
people will want to take you, and
Yeah.
it
Exactly.
really does help a lot. And just think it doesn't matter where you are as of right now. You know, it didn't used to be that way. When I started out, like people didn't know what an Indian New Zealand voice actor was, you know, like that wasn't even a thing, you know.
Yeah.
But like now I don't think they're as common still, but like we're getting there. We're getting there someday. Depends.
It's
We'll see how it
it's
goes, but
growing. Slowly growing.
we're slowly getting there. Yeah.
What?
We'll see how it goes. But no, I get like there's like like for someone who's experienced like that bitterness and jealousy, and I don't experience it anymore. I've found felt healthier outlets to, you know, sort
Good.
of, you know, let my feelings out. I think you can feel what you feel.
Yeah.
But it's good to have ambition.
Yes.
But don't let the ambition drag you down if you don't get it like right
Yeah.
now. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yep.
Because like
100%.
there's like things that I want to do, but like that are very easy for people to do, like in America, for example. But like
Mhm.
that's not my end goal. That shouldn't be my end goal because
Yep.
like there are other awesome things that I'm able to do, you know.
Mhm.
So and same for you, you know. So but like I'm really excited for you when you go to LA because I feel like you're gonna fucking tear up the town. So
I
I can't wait. So
I hope so. I have a lot of ambition, I have a lot of passion, and I'm very stubborn.
yeah,
So,
exactly. That's what you
I
need. Like if you're willing to like put in the work and you know, I guess not really be stubborn, but like be like back yourself and like be confident in
yeah.
yourself to like not give up and keep
Oh,
going.
100%.
You know, that's when you're really gonna go far. If you're just like doing this like 1 hour and be like, oh, I want to be an Atlas, you know. So it's
Yeah,
like,
like
yeah, come on, man, you gotta put more
it's
work than that.
there's a lot of work that comes with this. There's a lot of work, there's a lot of money.
Mm,
There's a lot of time and investment and, sacrifices that you have to make. But it's like it's something if you really really love it, like that. And that's always like the big thing. Like I don't do it often, but like anytime there's like these small like Discord convention people that I work with, like they'll sometimes bring me in for like small little like VO workouts and such.
yeah.
The big thing that I always tell people is just like if you want to do this professionally, you have to love it because it does not love you back.
Oh my
It
god,
does
yeah.
not.
I'm
You have to be willing. Like this is an unhealthy relationship. You are always going to be giving more than it'll ever give back to you. But you do it because you love it. You do it
for
because
real.
you find something in it that makes your heart flutter. And if you don't have that, not to say that you can't make it far if you don't have that, but it's like you lose out on so much of what drives people in this industry. Just having that love for the craft of creating, of performing, of being, um like you miss out on like a lot of the core aspects that make acting so memorable for so many people if you don't have that.
Yeah, like having drive in general just really helps, you know.
Yeah.
And I know like from an outsider's perspective, like people who are watching who are not voice actors, we probably sound like, oh, we have to love the craft, we have to always be theatrical and love
Oh,
the
I
every
fucking
second
hate
of
the
it.
craft sometimes,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. But no,
Like,
you gotta like find at least one thing that, because if you like it and you can find at least one thing that you like about it and keep going,
yep,
then fucking do it. Because if you don't
yep.
like it, why the hell are you doing it? You know,
Mhm.
that's just me being like honest. Like
Yeah.
and like if you and like you said, like you gotta really love it. And you gotta really want it
Yep.
to go and so for someone who's been doing it for 7 years, like I've been able to get as far as I have because of that. But like it
Mhm.
doesn't feel like 7 years, you know. It
Yeah.
just doesn't, you know.
It's like you blink and like, oh my god.
It's like, God, I'm old, my back's hurting. Well, not really, but I'm 22. I'm not yet, but we're getting there.
No,
But yeah.
back in my day.
Oh man, don't even get me started on the iPad kids. I remember going outside. It's great. I'm already doing it.
Oh my
What is your favorite topping on pizza?
god. mushrooms. Come on.
Thank you. Fucking
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Oh my god, bro. All of my friends think I'm fucking insane because I love
They're
mushrooms.
insane. Mushrooms is the best.
You're a fucking real one. You're so real for that. Oh my god, yes, I feel validated.
Hell yeah. Mushrooms
uh
is they're so good, especially when they're like not thin, but like they're like just thick enough.
yes, the
Oh
thick
man.
ones. Oh my god, and then when they get a little brown like right on the top, like
Oh,
oh,
oh my god.
so good, so
Fuck, I
good.
want mushroom pizza after this. God damn it.
No, honestly.
Oh, dude. Oh man. Okay. Well, just on the other side, what's your least favorite topping and least favorite pizza, I guess?
Okay. See, I'm a big stickler of like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I will very rarely try things outside of what I usually get.
Yeah.
But I'm Dominican for a little bit of extra context. So anytime we go to the Dominican Republic, ham on pizza is super big over there. Not that I'm not a fan of it, but it's like there's this weird like taste like clash. Like I don't know, there's something about like the tomato sauce and the cheese and like the ham itself that doesn't really work for me in my
Interesting.
head.
Yeah.
Um so it's not bad, it's just like something I have to get used to. If it were up to me, I would just do it plain.
Yeah.
But you know, maybe ham. I think ham would probably be my answer.
Not fair. My least favorite is probably pineapple. I fucking hate Hawaiian so much. People's
I don't
I
understand how people do that.
what do you mean? It sucks. It's like the worst kind of sweet and salty. Like I just don't. It just doesn't fit. You know, like if it was a pineapple ring on a pizza, you know,
Mhm.
fair enough. I could probably maybe get behind that. But like
Yeah.
I've had chicken and apricot and that bangs. You know, so like
Mhm.
it can work. But like for ham and pineapple, I don't know. It just
Yeah.
doesn't work. You know, if it was like ham and strawberry, you know, bit of an odd combination. But like
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's weird. You've got
yeah.
so much going on and like tastes and like you got like savory and sweet and then the textures are like different. It's all over the place.
Yeah, but mushrooms, oh man, I love mushrooms on pizza, man.
You're so
Like
real for
I thank you. I'm so glad someone else appreciates mushrooms on pizza. Like it's literally I thought it was just me and my dad and my
that.
granddad. So like no, someone else fucking likes it too. So this is great. Thank you.
No,
This is
thank
great.
you for validating me. I'm gonna go
Hey,
tell all my friends that I'm like
oh
I found
please
an
do.
ally. I
Oh
found
hell
an
yeah.
ally.
Fuck yeah. I'm more than an ally. I'll fucking lead the fucking army, bro. Oh my god. Oh man.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it's just a question because I have a lot of American voice actors who I've interviewed in the past. But yeah, what was your experience like growing up in America? Like you know, in like the 2000s, you know, because like since we're the same age, it's like what's like your perspective on that?
Oh my god. So my childhood um was very interesting. So I fell into like video games and anime. Well, no, video games specifically. Anime was kind of like freshman year high school for me. But video games specifically, I've been playing games since like as long as I can remember. I have fond memories of breaking my brother's PS2 while watching him play Sonic Heroes and, you know, just
Why would you do that?
it was an accident. I think I tried putting in a GameCube disc in the PS2 and it did
Oh
not
no, oh no,
didn't work.
oh
I was
no.
a kid, okay? I was a kid.
Okay, fair enough.
Um
Yeah.
but grew up loving games, like absolutely adoring just, you know, being able to be cool and like, you know, enter these different worlds and such. But a lot of my childhood I kind of got the impression that like if you liked video games or like anime, you were weird.
Oh my god, tell
Like
me about
you
it.
were
I got
like
so much shit for like watching Ben 10 at the time. Like, fuck
yeah.
you, man. It's still good. It's still good. Don't fucking do that to me.
Yeah. There I don't know, there was just there was something about like the early 2000s like being in school was just you were heavily looked down upon if you were like into anything like nerdy. And like I remember this as early as like middle school where like there was a very drastic shift between like oh yeah, like going to school and telling people about like the Disney Channel show I saw
Oh,
and then
you
all of
had
a
that
sudden
too. You had that too.
everyone's watching Grey's Anatomy and I'm like what the fuck? We're like 12.
Oh my god,
Like
I had the exact same thing. It was like, did you guys see the new Shake It Up episode? I'm like, what the fuck is what?
yeah, no, it's just I don't know where the shift happened, why the shift happened, but For me, I learned this very early in life. I very much fell into the idea that I had to basically prove that I was like normal. I put that in giant quotes. So like a lot of my early childhood, and honestly, like up until like maybe senior year of high school, I faked a lot of my personality. Like I kind of got myself involved in like shows and like media and stuff, and like really tried to fake a lot of my personality and my interests just to sort of fit in, while I kept a lot of like the nerdy stuff that I would do at home to myself. So I didn't really have like too many friends growing up that were like into things like that. Like into video games, and like when I first got into anime, like didn't really have like a lot of people to like talk about these things with. So like I very much found comfort in like my own thoughts, and like I have all so many memories of like being a kid and like playing with my toys, and like every day was just a new adventure with them. And you know, just being huddled up in my room, like doing the same thing every day. And um, it was the pandemic actually that kind of like led me to stop really giving a fuck. So now I'm very open about my interests. If you see my car, I have an Inumaki sticker on the right side of my car, and I have a Shao sticker on the left side of my car. I have a Sugawara plushie from Haikyuu, and I have Mob from Mob Psycho, like right smack dab in my windshield.
Damn,
I
I
have a
didn't know you
Rowlet
were I didn't
plushie.
know you were so cool, Ari. What the fuck?
my if you, if my younger self heard you say that, she would probably cry.
Oh.
But yeah, no, a lot of my life, at least like now into my 20s, has been really like affirming my identity and my worth and stuff. So like the early two growing up in the early 2000s really fucked up a lot of my childhood. So you know, now I'm happy to be older and you know kind of healing the inner child, I guess you could say.
Yeah, for
um
real.
the early 2000s sucked, man.
Like I don't have fond memories of the early 2000s like childhood. Like like the music was good. Like I
The
remember
music was
I
banging, man.
I that
Cannot compare to today.
oh absolutely like fuck this is like back when I listened to radios. Like I would hear like Flow Rider and Kesha on the radio and it was like, oh man, this is
Yeah.
great. Like you don't get that nowadays.
Yeah.
There's some songs that like nowadays which I like, but like it's a very small few. I might just be
Yeah.
trapped in the past and nostalgia, but like it's just good. I like the story. I like the storytelling of that kind of music at the time. Um, it just works. I
Yeah.
think for me, I was lucky enough to meet friends in high school who actually did like anime. Um,
Mhm.
but I was super insufferable at the time. Oh my god, I was because my first I would just talk about Dragon Ball Z all the time. I was like, "Your anime sucks. Can you be Goku?" Don't
Oh,
think
you
so.
were one of
I
those?
was, unfortunately, I was, and I regret it so much. It was like that for 2 years.
You've grown. You've grown. It's
I've grown.
okay.
I watched JoJo's and I became a JoJo person instead, which is I don't know if that's worse, but I can read.
Depending on who you ask.
I mean, I can read now. Dragon Ball Z fans can't read, but I can read now, which is great. But yeah, I mean, Dragon Ball still like it has a nice spot in my heart,
Mhm.
but like it's not my favorite. I mean, it has a it's iconic. It has legacy behind it,
Yeah.
but there's better stuff out there. you know,
Yeah.
not to downplay Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is still great. I still play all the games, still read the manga as much as I can. Um, watch keep up with the show, watch Dragon Ball Z Bridge. So like I'm still a fan, but like there's better stuff out there. Come on, guys, don't fool
Yeah.
yourselves. Don't. It's really like it's all these gym bros and shit. Like I get it, but come on, man. But yeah, my next question for you is see now we're just this is the point where we're just rambling about shit. See,
Yeah.
this is what I'm telling you about. But yeah, are there any particular because obviously apart from Xenoblade, of course, but like, are there any other games or like franchises you want to be a part of in the future potentially?
There's so
Name
there's
them all. Name them all.
so fuck, man. Well, Jesus, Pokemon is like a big one for me.
Mm,
Like I grew up with Pokemon. Like, um, Scarlet Violet specifically was like the first time I ever really felt like seen in like any sort of. So I'm a, and I know you're part of the crew too. I'm a firm believer in like representation is needed. Like we need representation because that's how we can tell the next generation that you know there's nothing wrong with the way that they are. I there's so much shit in my childhood. To keep it like short, I had a very, very long point in my life where like I would erase a lot of my culture, and
Oh,
I tried
same.
my best to be white because that was seen as the ideal. That's all I saw on television. That's all I saw in like everything that I played, or everything that I saw, that like white was everything. So I hated my culture as a kid. I hated being Spanish, like, and I still hate a small part of me that never really properly fully learned Spanish natively. I'm conversational with it. I can speak it. But like, that's always gonna be like a small little regret that I'll always have for the rest of my life. But like, growing up, I'm starting to be more comfortable with my culture and embrace it a lot more, in my own like little nuanced ways, and essentially kind of affirm that I do deserve a spot at the Spanish table, you know.
Hell yeah.
So Scarlet Violet was like a big one for me because Paldea is very Latin American inspired, and like, God, it's so stupid, man. But like, there's a sandwich shop in the main city called Delicioso. I lost my I cried. I cried. Like, so, like, especially right now, like in the era that we're in Pokemon, where we're very heavily on Gen 9 and Paldea, and Nemona was a dream role for me for the longest time. Not 100% sure if that's ever gonna happen, but like if I ever get to play any small part in Paldea, that would be nothing but like a dream for me, just to be able
Honestly,
to
I think it will happen. I genuinely think so.
hopefully.
Like if like I'm calling it right now. Like so like come back in like 2025, 2026. Timestamp it right here.
Hopefully, I just, it kind of like off track of that, but in general, I would love to be a voice for people like me, and to kind of feel comfortable in their own
Yeah.
skin, in their own culture. So in any way that I can represent that in any way, like Natlin coming up in Genshin. Natlin is African and Latin American based, or influenced. So not saying I would want to be a Natlin or anything like that, but like, if I would get to be a part of Genshin in a bigger fashion, I would love for it to be representing my culture,
Yeah.
in any way possible. Fuck, fuck,
Like
man. There's so many things. Um, Fucking Pokemon.
I'm a firm believer that the Pokemon game should have voice acting in it too. Not just the anime, but like the games. Like, come on, it's
Yes.
Pokemon. The game's gotta have it. The game's gotta have it. Like, it's been like what, 25,
It's
30
been
years? Come on.
it's been so long. They need it. They need it so bad.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But like, I imagine like if you're trying to get voice actors for like all the Pokemon, that might be very
That
expensive.
might be a little. Yeah, that might be a
But
little
like for the
pricey.
humans, no, there's not a lot
Yeah.
of humans. Maybe there is. I don't know. But like it shouldn't be that bad, right?
Yeah.
Um,
No.
but what was your first Pokemon game actually? Out of curiosity.
Ah, leaf green.
Wow, Leaf Green. Damn.
My brother was super into Pokemon. My brother was kind of like the starting bit of me getting into like games and anime and stuff.
Yeah.
So like, I kind of like Pokemon, Mario, Sonic, like all the big ones. But like back in the early 2000s, I all got into from him.
Not fair.
So I
Oh,
used to
that
watch him
explains
play
like the
those
old
games.
consoles. Because I'm the oldest in my family, so the oldest console I
Hmm.
had was the fucking Nintendo Wii. you
Oh
know,
my god.
but like, oh my god, Wii, whew, peak. But my first Pokemon game was Pokemon X and Y. So like, I started
Ooh.
out pretty late. Then I went back and played the other ones.
As you
Um,
should.
I even bought a fucking Game Boy, like an actual physical Game Boy to play Pokemon
Damn.
Blue. I was dedicated to the cause.
Damn. I love
Um,
that though.
yeah, thank you. Then my friend told me about the emulators. Like, oh, okay, I can just play it on my phone. So I
Hmm.
played the other games. Then I played Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. Then I kind of just caught on from there. And
Yeah.
I was able to do a thing where I had my 3DS, but I was allowed to play DS games. So I was able to play on my
Hmm.
cousins. I restarted their whole. I played Pokemon Black. I restarted the whole game, then completed it and made it better. So like this is when I was IB training at the time. I was like, but
Oh
like
my
I was like,
god.
but like this like IB training's not fun anymore. I just want to play the game. But like one of my mates still is really competitive about that stuff. So fair play. It kind of inspires me to be more competitive.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's more things. I cannot wait for Gen 10. Gen 10's gonna be
Oh,
great.
Gen
Gen
10 is
X,
going
Gen
to be
10.
great.
I don't know what's
Oof.
gonna be, but oh man. But like I'm so excited for Pokemon ZA because like because like you know how it's like if your Pokemon game is getting a sequel being remade, that means you're getting
Mhm.
old. It's like damn, it's my time, you know.
Yep. Yep, it is. I'm so excited. There's so much like potential there. Like there's so much they could do with it. I'm just
I am so happy they're bringing back Mega Evolutions because fuck
yes.
Dynamax, fuck the terrestrial
Yes.
bullshit, the Z moves, fuck all of that. I hate it. I want
Mega Evolution was
it's
great. That was
perfect. You got it right the first time. What's this? Why are you making them
yeah.
big? What is this? Why are you making them rocks? I don't get it. They got it right the first time, but there's gonna be more, and I cannot wait. I want Mega Flygon. That's all I want. That's all I want. And Mega Dragonite. Although Mega Dragonite might be weird because like the stone is ice, so it'll be called
mm.
Dragonite ice. So that'll be kind of weird, but I think it'll be okay. Um, but yeah, just we only have a few minutes left, so I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming on. It's been an
Thank
actual pleasure.
you.
We should definitely talk more outside of this
Yes, 100%.
because you like mushrooms on pizza, which means you're my best friend forever now.
Yeah, no, you have taste, my friend. Like
Exactly, and
props to
good
your
taste. You
taste.
as well. Literal, quite literally, actually. But yeah, just our last question. Are there any voice actors you would like to see in the Overvoice hot seat?
Yeah.
And maybe
I'm
we can
gonna
get them for this season or season 4.
I'm gonna shout out a couple of my friends, Juron Bacat, Paxton Lee, Veritan, Caitlin Dennis, and I had one more off the top of my head, Lily Yasuda. That's five
Ooh,
names.
nice. I'll keep them all in mind. I think we actually do
Yeah.
have Vera this season, actually. Uh,
Sweet. I love Vera. She's
yeah,
great. She's great.
yeah, she's insane, but like in a good way.
Yeah, in a good way.
Hell yeah. And yeah, just one last thing. Is there any? Do you want to plug your social media? I'll put
Oh
it in the
God.
description.
Sweet. Fuck, man. Fuck. Uh, follow me on Twitter. That is like the only active social media that if you want to find me on LinkedIn, I don't know why you would want to do that. Find me on Twitter at Ariana Rosario VOARIANA ROSARIOVO. If you really want to dig deep through like my fan work and stuff over the past years, feel free to find me on YouTube at Lucari. Two U's, two I's. Otherwise, just follow me on Twitter. I'm always on that fucking app, man. Even if it dies, I'll still be the only person on the app.
I've been trying to get off the app recently.
I need
It's
to get off of it too, but it's just
I'll
Twitter.
I'll pop in every now and then, but if there's like drama and shit, I'm like I don't care. I don't want. It's so
Yeah.
exhausting. I don't want to read this.
No, it's so much every day.
Yeah, it's like oh, like it's like for real. I so desperately want to make like a meme when the next voiceover drama comes up, like from Shrek 2. It's like for 5 minutes, can you not have voiceover drama for 5 minutes? I desperately want to do that so badly, but like I don't know if that will make more drama for me. It's like it's too stressful. I don't want to do it.
just do it for friends, because any fuel that you add to the fire will make the fire bigger. We're trying to let the fire die.
Exactly. But yeah, thank you again for coming on. I really do appreciate it. You're a
Of
real one.
course. Thank you for
Um,
having me.
thank you. And yeah, we'll see you for the next episode. So
Yeah.
bye everybody.
Bye.